Hello. It has been a little while. Today, me and my boys are actually back at the farm full-time again. We took a little trip to BC for a few weeks, and my husband held down the fort, but now we're back. Sorry, my dog's pulling me. Relax, we're going. Now we're back to wet and mucky September weather, but the wetness was much needed. We got a little bit too much, but we got enough that fire bans are now off, and it's Sunday. This is our first Sunday since we've been back home, and so we are going to start doing Sunday family fire dinner again. I came home to lots of vegetables in the garden to harvest. So we're going to do a Gete Okosomin squash, a stuffed Gete Okosomin squash in the fire. I have served it a few times for family and friends that have come out. It's a very special meal to me. I use ground venison that we've hunted, and then all sorts of veggies from our garden. So it is literally, even the lard is from our pigs. So everything in the dish is from us. So that's what we're gonna have tonight. But in the meantime, I would just show you what life looks like for us now, where we're at on the farm. So this is the area where we have been working, my husband's been working on clearing. This is the area where we hope to eventually set up our home or our house. We have one of our beehives there. We won't clear that area until we put our beehives away for storage. And let's go check on everybody.
Prime it every time. Once you get it started, it's primed. You don't have to
I
prime
don't
it
prime
again.
it after. I only did that once and then you told me not to.
And it's just primed 3 times. You don't gotta sit there and continue priming it.
Sunday family fire dinner. I am going to be making Gete Okosomin stuffed squash. I'm going to use ground venison. I'm going to go hunt for some mushrooms. I got to get some rice on to cook. Find some carrots in the garden. Have some onion from the garden. Some garlic from the garden. I think that's about it. Oh, some hot pepper. It's a very simple dish. I will try and show you everything. And if you're interested in receiving some seeds from me, just shoot me a message. These are seeds that were gifted to me, and these squash gives them give lots of seeds. So I strongly encourage anyone who wants to grow these squash to do so. So if you like some seeds, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'll try and get some seeds to you if I have extra. So now we are going to go find some mushrooms. Let's go. Before I go looking for mushrooms, I'm mainly looking for lobsters. I prefer lobster mushrooms this time of year, but before I go looking, I need to get rice on. So I have this beautiful blend here. This is a naked oat and wild rice blend. Oh. This is a naked oat wild rice blend, and I always cut it with just a little bit of white rice. White rice. Because I'm stuffing the squash with so many other things, I'm not going to do a lot of rice. And we'll have some sliced tomatoes as a side. So I did like 3/4 of a cup of naked oat wild rice blend and a smidge of white rice. And then I'll add some water to it. So, I don't know if you can see it, but that right there is lobster mushrooms. Here is some nice saffrons, and these ones are like perfect. I like the small ones. They're the freshest. You can see my hands already stained orange. When I clean and work with them, my hands will be very orange. I thought that was a tipped over saffron, but it's a lobster. I don't know how. Huh? It could be decent enough. So when stuffing a squash, we want to put the rice and the meat in there cooked. You can use any meat, you can use a rice, or you could use another grain if you wanted. And then you can flavor your meat. Flavor it however you see fit. I normally add a bit of our taco seasoning to it. And some of our hot peppers, as well as onion and garlic to the meat. And then once the meat is cooked, I will take the meat and the rice and any vegetables that I've either cooked with the meat or set aside and mix it all together, and then I stuff the squash with it. So while the meat is cooking, I am going to chop up an onion and get garlic smashed and get some hot peppers. So we'll get some hot peppers. Need that many hot peppers because they are hot. Let's go into our crazy greenhouse. Here they all are. Seeing as we're here, I'm just gonna grab my Getes. These Getes didn't grow nearly as big as my other ones, so I'll show you my big Getes, which is how they normally get. So I've got my Getes, my hot peppers, I have onion and garlic already. I'm also going to add some celery, so I'll take you over there. We lost a great deal of our plants this year because we had a 3-day freeze. So I actually just threw my Gete squash seeds into the garden. No 4-week primer, nothing. And they survived and they've done amazing. So this is one of my Getes, and this is how normally big they get. So I'll show you. You can see this leaf is in the way. How big it is. We're a family of 6. We cooked one of these up a few weeks ago, and we had 10 people, and we had leftovers. So this is a huge meal. So they're hollowed out. You don't want to scrape out too much of the squash flesh. And now we are going to stuff her. And you can either pre-season your meat or your veggies. I am going to add a bit I just have these. Not exactly the best thing when you're cooking a homegrown meal, but we're out of a lot of our own spices from last year, and I haven't even started dehydrating for this year. Clearly, we need to make more spice blends. Okay, once it's all mixed and seasoned, you're going to stuff them. Hey, Marcus. Marcus. So this is where it takes a little bit of finessing, and sometimes you need a second set of hands. And if any of you have an alternative to tinfoil, let me know, because that is the only thing about this dish that I don't like. I have read that in the past they would have used corn leaves. I don't know how to use corn leaves, and I really haven't researched it well enough to know. And all of my corn leaves are gone. So these can be tossed in an oven, in a barbecue. You basically want to have them around 350 to 400 degrees, and you want to cook them for about 45 minutes. And that's when you're using a large squash. So these ones are smaller, and I'm also going to be cooking them in the fire. So I'll probably time it every 10 minutes and then flip them and move them. So hopefully, I've never done these in the fire. I've always done them in the barbecue where it's a little bit more controlled, but Sunday fire dinner, gotta try. I have no idea what time it is. 8 o'clock. So we have no light. So that is our squash. And it's full of goodness. I have 2 of them. And then we also have the pepper done up. Alrighty.
Can I borrow the headline quickly? No.
Dinner in the dark.
That, Mom.